Today I want to talk about becoming a creator in 2025. What has changed in the landscape of influencer marketing, of creators? Where is everything going and what you need to do to be successful online if you want to start this year becoming a online content creator. Becoming a digital creator in 2025 is both an exciting opportunity but also a serious challenge. The online landscape has shifted dramatically from just a few years ago. So we think about the platforms have evolved, algorithms have changed, and the competition really skyrocketed. But all of these factors, it doesn't mean that becoming a creator in 2025 and moving forward is impossible. It just means you need the right mindset and the right strategy and the right focus. Just a few years ago, back in 2020, platforms like TikTok made it really easy for people to go viral or accumulate thousands of views on a simple video. So you could pretty much post a super simple, not even highly edited video of you making pizza dough or pasta dough, and overnight you got thousands of views. But those days are over. The game has changed. I started my online career in 2013. I started as a micro-influencer and the creator economy was barely emerging. So brands are really eager to reach out, to send free products, paid collaborations, invite influencers to events. So I went with just a few thousand followers. I was invited to stores. I was able to choose clothing pieces, as many as I wanted, and just uploaded a picture of myself. I went to so many influencer events. They were really great and really elaborate. But all of this has really changed, and especially post-pandemic, fast forward to 2025, brands became more selective in which influencers or creators they want to choose, they want to invite to events. Budgets were allocated towards other things, so not a lot of money were put into events anymore. There's, of course, still influencer events going on, but not so many in a sense where they just invite anyone and everyone. And just the market for creators has really become saturated. And of course, the competition for attention has increased as well. And when we think about between 2013 and 2025, the main points that really changed are just the amount of creators, so the oversaturation of creators. Everyone and their mother wants to become a creator now. To a lot of people, it sounds like a dream job. Oh my God, I'm getting paid for creating content. While this sounds fabulous, it's extremely hard to make a full-time income from just creating content. And many creators started to copy trends, they started to copy other creators, which then leads to repetition of content, but also a lack of originality. The algorithms have changed. Back in the days, algorithms were solely focused on this is the amount of followers you have, your followers will see your type of content. Nowadays, TikTok really started this by shifting from a follower-based algorithm to a more interest-based algorithm. So your feed is now curated based on your behavior and preferences rather than the people you're following. And this is both a blessing and a challenge. So for new creators, it's great news, because you don't have followers, so you don't need to invest time in thinking about a strategy on how to get more followers, but rather creating content for people you want to attract. And then your content will be pushed to people who resonate with this. But now for established creators, your audience might not see your content anymore unless it aligns with their current interests or they're just constantly checking out your profile. But if a follower is following you on Instagram, for example, and this person followed you from 6 years ago because you met them somewhere and they never engage with your content, they're not really seeing your content anymore. Also, diversification of platform. There is no one-size-fits-all platform anymore. TikTok, YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels, LinkedIn, and even Facebook, they all serve a different purpose. And if you want to be successful in any of those platforms, it really comes down to understanding each platform, to understanding what audience is on these platforms, and then create content specifically for these platforms. But most importantly, if you really want to become a creator in 2025, you need to have the right mindset. It's not about going viral or chasing monetization. It's about building something that is meaningful and sustainable. You need to focus on the why. So you should ask yourself, Why do I want to create content? Is it to help others? Is it to share your expertise, or do you want to inspire people? Or are you chasing fame and quick money? If your primary motivation is the monetization aspect from platforms such as TikTok and YouTube, you're setting yourself up for disappointment big time. Success comes from creating content that serves a purpose and that has come from a passion that you have for creating content, not by trying to make a quick buck because I'm uploading a video and I expect to get paid. You also need to find your unique voice. There are many creators online, everyone is talking about everything, so it's really up to you to find a topic that you can talk about endlessly. You need to find a topic that you have either expertise in, or it's something that you're really good at, whether it's like a hobby or maybe working out, playing tennis, teaching people soccer drills. But it's something that you can talk about for a long time without really boring your audience. One thing that is also super important in 2025 and going forward is authenticity. Authenticity matters more than anything. You really have to be your authentic self. Videos that are doing well are videos where the creator is vulnerable, where the creator is sharing personal stories. So anything that is really authentic, that is personal, that shows maybe your way how you grow into the person, or you want to take your followers along for something that you've set yourself for 2025. This is where people get into the type of content you're creating, into that user-generated type of content. But if all of your content pieces are extremely polished and very scripted, that is not something people resonate as much anymore as they used to. But if you look at creators who are successful now, it's really the ones who are vulnerable, who tell a story. So it's about storytelling and opening up. And again, you don't have to open up about everything, but if it relates to your business or your hobby or your expertise, then it's definitely nice to let the people kind of peek behind the curtains. And then you also want to understand each channel. You can't succeed without understanding how the platforms work. So for example, when you look at YouTube, YouTube is great for like evergreen content, for searchable content. It's great for educational creators who are showing how to do arts and crafts, so like do-it-yourself type of tutorials. And when I talk about evergreen content refers to content that doesn't really go out of style. So it's relevant now, it's relevant tomorrow, in a week, in a month, in a year from now. So I'm not referring to trends on TikTok, they die within a week, but I'm talking about content. So for example, if we stick with marketing examples, major Facebook ad mistakes. Even though the platforms might be changing and the algorithms might be changing, they're just some fundamentals that always stay the same. So your video will even be relevant in a month or in a year from now. So that's great for YouTube. Why is evergreen great for YouTube? Because YouTube is a search engine. YouTube belongs to Google. So people type in the question either into the YouTube environment or into Google, and then your video might pop out if it's relevant. TikTok and Instagram Reels are perfect for short form content that aligns more about trends, but you need to stay relevant and creative. So when it comes to TikTok, you have to put out content consistently. When we look at LinkedIn, a lot of creators forget about LinkedIn, but LinkedIn is great for business-to-business creators, for professionals looking to network and position themselves as a thought leader. I recommend focus on 1 to 2 platforms to start with, understand the platforms, dominate in those platforms, so really try to place both feet on the ground and really own the space before expanding to other channels. 2025 is also a great time to start becoming a creator because you get so much help from AI tools. AI technology should really be your friend when starting this digital journey. AI tools like ChatGPT, they can help you brainstorming, they can help to generate ideas, they can help you write scripts, they can optimize your content, they can review your content, and those channels can tell you, hey, this is where your content is falling short. And if you're just starting, AI can definitely save you time and help you to overcome these creative blocks, especially if you don't know where to start. Turn to those AI tools to really get a head start. Also, you should create content for your audience, not for yourself. It's easy to create content that makes you feel good, that looks good, but it doesn't prioritize the problem that your audience is facing. It's not entertaining your audience, it's not really there for your audience. So you need to ask yourself, what value does my content provide? Does it entertain, educate, or inspire? Don't just put out content for the sake of putting out content. Think about the piece of content, understand the value. And when I say value, value doesn't always need to be something educational. It doesn't always need to be a tip or recommendation. It can simply be a funny skit where you make someone laugh, where you make someone think about what you just told them. So there's multiple ways. It could be motivational, inspiring, it could be funny. You could create news-related content where that falls more into the educational section. But really think about, why am I creating this piece of content? What is the purpose? If there's no purpose and if there's no value in your piece, then don't post it. One of the biggest misconceptions about being a creator is that it's easy money. But let me set the record straight. Monetization takes time. You won't make money from the first video you publish on YouTube, and you won't make money from the first short you post on TikTok. Building an audience, creating consistent content, and engaging with your community are just a few steps to take before you can really monetize your online presence. Also, monetization shouldn't be your first mindset. You shouldn't think about, oh, let me start a YouTube channel just to monetize my content. If you want to be a digital creator, you're definitely there for the long run. It takes time. It looks super easy when you see a 30-second video, but you don't understand how much time and effort really stands behind creating the content that you're putting out online. So if you just want to do it for the sake of easy money, then you should rather probably look for a part-time job, because digital content is not easy money. When you're starting out, brands are not coming to you and begging you to work with them and paying you thousands of dollars. That's just not the reality anymore. There's a lot of creators. There's a lot of creators who are doing it for free. Monetization shouldn't even be at the top of your list. If you generate money from your videos, if you generate money from YouTube videos, shorts, or TikTok shorts, that's great. That is a side income. That is boosting your other revenue streams, which is great. But it shouldn't be your first source of income. So that shouldn't be your primary focus. I'm not trying to give you financial advice here, but to monetize successfully, you need multiple income streams. So for example, if you really want to make money with content creation, you need brand collaborations, you need revenue from different platforms like YouTube and TikTok. You probably can look into selling digital products, whether this is courses or memberships. But at the end of the day, you need to do it for the right reasons. If your goal is only to make money, you will burn out quickly. Instead, you should focus on creating content that you're proud of. Create content because you want to create content, because you feel passionate about teaching people or just being in front of the camera. Monetization should always be a byproduct of your hard work, not your primary motivation. And I also want to give you a few key pieces of advice for the aspiring content creators out there. Embrace your authenticity. Polished, overly curated content isn't what people are connecting with anymore. So share your struggles, your learning process, and your real personality. If you're not super funny, don't try to be funny on camera. If you are super funny, don't try to be super serious on camera, okay? Just be yourself. Because vulnerability builds trust and loyalty. Also, you want to be consistent. You want to show up regularly. And when I say regularly, I don't mean post every single day and burn out. But whether it's showing up once a week or once a day, consistency builds familiarity and trust with your audience. So let's say you can say, I will show up daily on my Instagram stories, but I will only post once a week. Or I'll post 3 Instagram stories in a week and maybe 2 YouTube shorts. You also need to experiment and adapt. The creator landscape is changing constantly. What worked last year, or what even worked a week ago, might not be working anymore for all the new formats, for the algorithm changes, for the trends, and the new tools that are emerging. When you are a digital content creator, pivoting and keeping an eye on what is going on in the industry is pivotal. Like, it's super important, because if you don't understand the new emerging channels or what is working on a channel and you're still running your same strategy, for months and years, then you will be left behind. You also want to start small and then scale up. As I said before, start with just 1 to 2 platforms and really spend time on those platforms. Consume content, understand consumer behavior, understand what videos are doing well on those platforms or what content in general is doing well. And then dominate that space before expanding to other channels. So you want to make sure you have a solid foundation. But overall, becoming a creator in 2025 isn't impossible, but it requires a thoughtful, intentional approach. Success isn't about the amount of followers you have anymore or the amount of viral hits you get on a video. It's about building something that truly resonates with your audience and aligns with your purpose. So ask yourself, why do I want to create content? If the answer is to help someone, to inspire someone, or to connect with others, then you're on the right track. And this led us also yet again to another episode of the Content Marketing Cheat Sheet podcast. I'm glad you tuned in today. These were my thoughts about becoming a creator in 2025. I would love to hear your take on this video, your thoughts, your comments. So put them in the comments and let's continue this conversation. If you need help, so if you are someone who has a business or wants to become a creator, or maybe your digital ecosystem doesn't really work and you need help, then you can always reach out to me at Nina@thesocialwisdom, or you can find me online at @thesocialwisdom, slide into my DMs and we can start the conversation there. I'm happy you tuned in today. I cannot wait to see you next week. Until then, goodbye, or how we say in Germany, auf Wiedersehen.